Good evening, everyone. This is Denise from Dobby Books, and it is Saturday, the 25th of January. We have less than a week to go then, I guess, and that'll be the end of January. It's just all flying by. Anyway, everybody, I went to my library sale today. I didn't quite get a lot of stuff. I don't know, for some reason today, I guess I was not as inspired as I've been before. Who knows what that could be? Anxiety over what's going on right now. So let me start. I'm going to show you first what I got from the library, and then we'll move on to what I got either ordering online or at a walk-in bookstore. And then there is a collection that I have finally completed. I'm very excited to do that. And then I'm going to let you know about some final books in a series that I will be moving out. And I want to give everybody the opportunity to see them before I list them. Okay, so here we go. One book I got. Now this book, I remember the series when I was growing up. I think I was in high school when this series was broadcast on TV. And it really was a huge, big deal in the United States here. And it is Roots. I remember telling myself I'd love to read this book someday. And I would see it on occasion, but never get it. And today it was at the library, this nice big old monster for $1. So I decided to get it. I hate it when they have stickers on here. Like I took off the sticker that's here and it didn't come off as easily as they normally do when you apply like heat from the blow dryer. And it normally comes off fairly easily. This one didn't do such a great job, but I'm very happy that the sticker that they had right across his eye, that doesn't make sense to me. I got that one off very carefully and it worked. So I'm happy about that. So this is something that's going to go. You know what's interesting? Maybe I was left out of the loop here, but it lists it under fiction and history. Mine thinking historical fiction. I always thought this was nonfiction. But again, I've never read it. It might read like historical fiction. But this is, I was today years old when I learned that. So Roots by Alex Haley. Next one that I found is under history, and these are the Chronicles of Early California, 1535 to 1846, Lands of Promise and Despair, edited by Rosemary Beebe and Robert M. Sienkiewicz. And since I live in the Golden State, I might as well, learn a few things about it. So I got this. This looks like it may have been used in college. It's a good book. I like it. It's got some great illustrations in it, drawings, not a lot of photographs, but images. And it's got some beautiful, look at some birds it's showing of California. Isn't that gorgeous? So, I think it's going to be a good thing to have, knowing about the state you live in, All right. Then it seems like the only real books that truly were interesting me where I thought, well, let me look at my, children's, young reader, YA. Let's see what I find because I'm always trying to add to that. So I got this one because it was a Newbery Medal winner, Adam of the Road. This is, this has been around by Elizabeth Janet Gray. And this was first published by Viking Press in 1942. So yeah, I can check this one off my list of Newbery Medal winners. So that's going to go in my young readers section. The next one I got is a book I remember seeing in my school library when I was in elementary school. The Enormous Egg by Oliver Butterworth. Oh my gosh, this was a great thing to see. Great book. Even the illustrations just so much remind me of books. I love these illustrations and caricatures. They're awesome. So this is a great book. This is a classic. This one's published by Scholastic. And the original publication of this book was copyright 1956. So I bet some of you who are in my age category are going to remember this as well. This is a great book. The next one that I got is the last. This is the last one that I got. It's adding to my series of the Benedict Society. This is the first book. It's in wonderful condition. It's a paperback, not like my other two hardback copies, but it's in such wonderful condition. There's no yellowing. It really is. I don't know if it was read once or partially read, or I don't know, but it was just in wonderful condition. So I got it. So now in that series, I have 1, 2, 3 books. So those are the books I got at the library, and I spent $5.50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So one of these books was $1.50. What did I purchase? I went to Barnes and Noble. Okay, these I got at Barnes and Noble just a few days ago. They are 2 more books, optional books that were listed in my YA class in college. And the first one was Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. This is a Newbery Honor and a National Book Award and a Coretta Scott King Award. Excellent. This will be going to my, what do you say, young reader category. And the other one I got is only available in hard copy by R.J. Palacio, Wonder. There's a lot said about this book, and you know how you just, when you're not really paying attention, you remember seeing the cover, but other than that, nothing. Well, this is apparently a big to-do, so I'm going to be reading it as an option for my class. Then this one arrived. This is one of the books that I ordered for my Pendragon series from eBay. This arrived in great condition. Hard copy, which is what I wanted. Look at the cover. It's in wonderful condition. I got to get rid of that. If you look at the pages, the spine is nice and strong. When I order something from eBay or whatever, I always put it down. It has to be in absolute minimum is very good, but I always prefer excellent to brand new, depending on it. First edition, I'm looking for very good, excellent, because at least it's been my experience. My idea of excellent is someone's idea of good, you know, so I kind of up the ante. And the other one I got for the Pendragon series, again, from eBay, is book 4, The Reality Bug, in wonderful condition. Maybe it was read once, maybe partially read. I don't know. I love these covers. There were new, updated covers, which I didn't want. I really loved the first ones that came out. I think they just have more, I don't know, there's something about these original covers that I prefer. Okay, so these Pendragon editions would have completed my collection, but for last week when I showed you the Pendragon book that I got in the mail that was just destroyed, it was listed as an excellent condition, which was baloney, because even without the damage to the cover and everything else, I would have considered it good at best. So I've already wrapped that up. It's getting returned, and hopefully I can find a replacement for that one, and so then finally complete my Pendragon collection. And what else did this one. I got this book in the foyer at my college, you know, that dangerous place that I was passing by last semester. Well, it's begun again. And I found this, American Exodus, The Dust Bowl Migration and Okie Culture in California by James N. Gregory. I thought this would be a good read, since that era did affect us here in California with a lot of the migrations coming in. And this is from Oxford University Press, and it was published, copyright is 1989. I think it's a good pick. And the next one I got, this came in the mail. This came from bookshop.org. Learning to Disagree, The Surprising Path to Navigating Differences with Empathy and Respect by John Inazu. And I was trying to think, why did I order this? Because I kind of didn't remember And then when I looked at the back, you know how when you have the ISBN numbers and then it shows you which genre it falls under? This one says the genre it falls under is religion, as well as politics and state. I thought, where did I get the idea for this book? It was kind of like, and it's from Zondervan Books, which is a Christian publisher. And I thought, well, if it's a Christian publisher and I ordered it online, the only thing I can think of is that I saw this book probably in the book section of Christianity Today magazine, which I get the e-edition. And gosh, I think it's the only Christian publication I get right now, because CT, Christianity Today, has been very resistant to the rise of Christian nationalism and all the stuff that's attached to that. They have been standing strong and keeping things as balanced as possible. So I had I have a certain level of trust in their recommendations, and must have been recommended in the book section, some sort of review on it that interested me, especially for these times. So if we're speaking to someone who's totally on the opposite side of the fence, one of two things will happen: the echo chamber, or perhaps, and this is the hoped for outcome, that maybe at least one thing could be approached, and maybe we can leave the other side kind of thinking a little bit, you know. And I'm sure, let's be fair, there may be something that the other side can leave us thinking about. We're convinced they're doing it all the wrong way. Okay. But I think the imperative that we really have right now is striving to the best of our ability to communicate in a manner that's as peaceful and productive as possible. And I sometimes think, man, that is asking for the impossible, but it's a good goal to shoot for, you know. And I think we're the better people if this is what we really try to accomplish, because it's been so, and I have to, you know, I'm right there at the front of the line. It's been so easy for me to just sort of, you know, guffaw and ridicule and laugh at a snide remark about the other side, you know, the political parties I don't agree with, the cartoons that are published in more liberal publications, you know, oh, that's just great, whatever, rolling my eyes. It's so easy to do that. And it really starts to wear me down, you know, because it's a negative. We don't need to add to the negative. So I'm hoping perhaps this will help me to redirect my energies in a different direction, and maybe that will help me to feel a little better, a little less anxious. Perhaps it's not going to take all the anxiety away, but maybe it'll help out a little bit. And I think maybe that's why I got this. So, Learning to Disagree by John Inazu, published by Zondervan. So these are the ones that I purchased at Barnes & Noble or online. And the final one that I got from eBay. And this book finally completes my collection. So this is the Ravenclaw House edition of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And I had a hard time completing this collection because I wanted first and first editions. And this is a first edition, first print, hardbound. It has to be in excellent to very good condition. And this finally filled the bill. And as you know, maybe some of you, I have my Harry Potter collection, and I have the UK first and first editions with the exception of the first book. I have the first and first editions of the American books with the exception of the first book. And I also have the house editions, first and first editions. But the thing was, at the time, I thought I was a Hufflepuff. And over time, I realized, no, I'm not a Hufflepuff. I'm definitely not a Gryffindor. So I decided to stop collecting the editions from those two houses. I was going back and forth, two of that, you know, of either Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. and decided to replace them with a full edition of Ravenclaw, but it had to be first and first, like my original Hufflepuff and Gryffindor editions. Boy, that took a while. I'm so happy. So after I cover this with Mylar, I'm going to add it to my collection. And because this finally completes my Harry Potter house editions, I'm going to be selling the ones that I got before. And that's what you see behind me here. So let me see if I can show you a little bit here. I'm going to show you some of this. If you want any of them, if you know someone who might want some of them, just let me know in the comments. I'm going to be posting them on eBay. These here, I'm going to pull these here. You can see by the paper, Gryffindor edition is red, and then the Hufflepuff has the yellow pages. All right, so this stack here, let me go over them. This is a Hufflepuff house edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Let me take the sticker off. This is a first edition. I got it brand new. This is a second print. Oh, excuse me. I said it was first. This is a second print edition. Hufflepuff house. The next one is another Hufflepuff edition. And this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is a first, brand new. The next one I have is a Gryffindor House edition. First of The Prisoner of Azkaban. And this last one here is a Hufflepuff edition. Edition of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. There's this markings there. I'm pretty sure I said first. This side here, this is a Ravenclaw edition, but this is a 6th print. I think I may have purchased this by accident, or I was in too much of a hurry or whatever. So this is the Philosopher's Stone, not Sorcerer's Stone, Philosopher's Stone. These are all UK editions that I have, by the way. This other one is this is a first. I don't know why I separated it. This is a Gryffindor edition of the Goblet of Fire. First, brand new. And the last one is a 3rd edition of the Half-Blood Prince. Gryffindor House. And finally, I'm just going to go over briefly what I'm reading. I'm still reading The Houses of History, and this is what we're doing for my historiography class. And we covered the first category, which is the empiricists, which if you read traditional history books that focus on the leaders, in whether it's in leaders of a nation, of the church, treaties, wars, kings, queens, those that were in positions of power. That's the empiricist point or approach in history, and that history is based upon documentation, because the empiricists were very scientific. This is when history first came out of science itself, traditional science, and history followed the same strict patterns of investigation for history. It had to be primary sources that were written during the time of the event, and everything had to be verified, and it was recommended that the historian doing the research put together the story based on those primary sources, that the story would reveal itself. and the historian had to be objective. They had to stay in this neutral mindset as they were putting everything together. And you'll find out later on that as history as a discipline started to grow and get more experience, other historians down the line would challenge this and say, can we really be that objective? Don't we have our own life experiences, et cetera, and values that influence our view of what's important and what's not? So that's something that I'll cover when we get there. The next one that I'm still reading is The Golden Compass. I've only just started that one. It's a slow start. I'm liking the book so far. I think it's really neat. I'll cover more on this. Lyra is just a kid that's playing, and she's free and she's enjoying her life. But I get the sense from where the story is now that all that's about to change real quick, and it has to do with dust. And I'm still reading Augustus by Anthony Everett. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And of course, with my fancy schmancy bookmark in every single one of my books, I have my fancy bookmarks. And this one is more than a bookmark. It's notes. That's in my Houses of History book. Okay, that's it, everybody. Thank you for sitting with me. I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and let's see if we can't be encouraging to one another during this time. Take care, everyone. I love you very much. Bye-bye.